Coming up on Naperville News 17, DuPage County hosts a workshop on puppy mills. A local nonprofit turns crayons into art. And a patriotic performance fit for the 4th. Hello everyone, I'm Kim Pierce. Thanks for joining us for this week's Naperville News. DuPage County recently hosted a puppy mill workshop. Naperville News 17's Aisha Ashley Hausa has the story.
DuPage County Animal Services partnered up with the Humane Society of the United States to host its first puppy mill workshop. The event aimed to inform the public why pet stores should not sell dogs that come from puppy mills.
Why we put the workshop together is we've seen in the last 2 years a big interest in DuPage County and various villages and towns about banning the sale of puppy mill dogs or cats and rabbits at these facilities, and we even had a state law down in Springfield last session joining Will County, at DuPage and Will County, to have a statewide ban.
The county is still pushing to get this legislation passed and hopes the workshop will motivate people to take action. Around 100 attendees came out to the DuPage County Administration Building to listen to 17 speakers talk about a variety of topics, including issues with puppy mills and the impact these facilities have on the animals.
What happens is the dog does not have enough interaction or socialization. They're kept in a pen. They're very skittish. They're very afraid. Often they're incredibly shy and fearful dogs.
To help ensure that commercially bred dogs sold at pet stores are not the product of puppy mills, some animal advocates point to a Chicago ordinance put in place in 2015, which restricts pet store sales to only rescued animals.
What we would like to see is the pet stores in Naperville model what the dog patch in Naperville has done so successfully.
It's a topic that has come up in Naperville City Council meetings several times, but with no resolution. Councilmember Patty Gustin was in attendance and took note of what was shared.
It's important to me to be present to actually understand each and every element of it so that when you're making a decision and you're voting, you know what you're voting on.
The DuPage County Board has listed banning the sale of commercially bred pets as one of their legislative priorities for 2019. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Aisha Ashley Hausa.
The beginning of July means the start of a new Safer Naper. The Naperville Police Department campaign is reminding residents about personal safety this month. Their biggest tip is to practice situational awareness. Be aware of your surroundings and trust your instincts, especially when alone in public.
Talk with your family about what to do in different situations. The better prepared you are will allow you more time to react in case a situation does occur.
For family safety, Smith recommends setting up a plan and meeting location when in crowded places like Ribfest, in case you get separated from your child.
Have a plan what to do if your child were to be lost. Know what they're wearing. Dress your children in bright colors such as neon green or bright safety orange, so you're able to identify them in a big public situation. Also, too, talk to them about what to do if they were to get lost. Where is the safe place that they can go to? What are some safe adults in the area that they could go to in the event you were separated?
And having your child wear a form of identification with parent contact information and taking a family photo before heading out can help police locate them more easily. To go along with Personal Safety Month, the NPD will host a college safety presentation on July 25th. More information about that is on their website. The Forest Preserve District of Will County is asking residents not to be jerks. Their new multimedia campaign, Don't Be a Jerk, is designed to get visitors to behave in preserves and treat trails with respect.
Some really basic rules that we'd like people to follow, and it's not just us, it's all open spaces, it's all natural areas. Things like when you go to a public park or a forest preserve, leash your dog. When you take your dog to the park, and if your dog does his business, clean up after your dog.
The Forest Preserve also recommends that trail users be aware of their surroundings and stay on the right side so faster users can pass on the left. And remember, cleaning crews aren't out around the clock. So if you are in the preserves, clean up after yourself.
If we're only out here once a week, there's 6 other days out there when people may be littering and things of that nature. What we'd ask too is that people just, if you're comfortable doing it, pick up some of the litter that you see and throw it away.
While the campaign is in response to complaints about littering, dog poop, and people hogging trails, it also aims to help protect wildlife, which can be harmed by some improperly disposed trash. You can check out the Preserve's website for tips on how not to be a jerk. A sweet new exhibit has popped up at Naper Settlement. Naperville News 17's Christian Canizal gives us a taste of what it has to offer.
Milky Ways, Tootsie Rolls, and many more famous treats are now available at Naper Settlement. Well, at least the candy's history is. Sweet Home Chicago, the history of America's candy capital, is a traveling exhibit that shows the history of the Windy City's tasty history.
This exhibit sort of grounds you in the story that Chicago is this capital of the candy industry. And then it really kind of goes sort of company by company, talking about the products that they developed.
One of the companies shown at the exhibit is Naperville's old candy company, Amaral Confections. The once famous bubblegum manufacturer eventually left Naperville, but made its mark with a distinctive scent.
A lot of people remember, especially when they started making grape bubblegum, it permeated the neighborhood, and people even just driving by the factory would get a waft of it.
Their company was also known for its sugarless gum, and believe it or not, it's toothpaste. The exhibit also features some interactive displays like the Candy Bar ID, where participants guess the chocolate bar based on clues and riddles. But hurry in, because it will only be on display until July 28th.
And it's childhood revisited, and I think hopefully some of those feelings will be embodied for our patrons as they experience the exhibit and when they leave.
For Naperville News 17, I'm Christian Canizal.
In conjunction with the exhibit, Naper Settlement will have a movie screening of Shelf Life, the story of Lanzi Candy, at Classic Cinemas on July 25th. After the break, summer fun that will float your boat.
NCTV17.com is the best place for you to stay up to date on your neighborhood happenings. Get your local news and sports all on the go by signing up for our daily news update. Naperville Community Television, keeping you informed.
Welcome to Ted's Montana Grill, where Naperville meets the spirit of the American West. Pour over a menu as vast as the American plains that inspired it. The foundation of their menu is bison. Whether you try a signature burger or a perfectly grilled bison steak, you'll wonder where this meat has been all of your life. Not only does Ted's deliver on the food, they deliver on hospitality too.
A local nonprofit has made a colorful craft into a creative contribution. Naperville News 17's Aisha Ashley Hausa shows us how.
Butterflies, flowers, and even dinosaurs. Melting down crayons and transforming them into fun shapes is one activity Community Access Naperville includes in their program for those with disabilities.
I think one of the most important things is to always be busy and have something meaningful to do. So the thing that is really great about the crayons is the participants have that opportunity to see the whole process from start to finish.
Sorting, peeling, breaking, melting, and finally, molding. The process requires many steps, but the finished product is worth it. The organization donates some of their creations to children in the hospital and take their participants to visit them as well.
It is important to send that message to the community that people with disabilities can contribute and can be an active part in the community, and that's something that's really important to us.
Being a part of Community Access Naperville is also personal for Healy, since she was having trouble finding the right place for her son, since he needs some extra support.
And so we felt like, well, if it's not out there, let's see if we can create it.
Doing something meaningful while having a good time. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Aisha Ashley Hausa.
Naperville Libraries partnered up with the organization for a crayon drive in June, but you can donate anytime. Just contact the group to arrange a drop-off. If you're looking to get on the water this summer, you've got plenty of options. Naperville News 17's Christine Lena tells us where.
From paddle boating to paddle boarding, getting on the water in Naperville this summer is a lot more accessible than some may realize. Aside from the already popular Naperville Quarry and Knock Knolls locations, options like kayaking and paddleboarding have expanded beyond the center of town.
Wayland Lake is bigger than the quarry, which is why it's great that we added that, because people have done the quarry before looking for a new experience, but they may not feel comfortable going on the river. So that's why Wayland Lake is that great middle ground. It's bigger and it is more of a challenge. There are some wind spots there which give people a great workout when they're paddling.
Naperville Kayak has partnered with the Forest Preserve District of Will County to bring single and tandem kayaking to the 85-acre lake on Fridays through Sundays.
It just is easy, it's accessible. We've got a great location with the Naperville Market, and we're right here at Bolingbrook, so it's really a wide range of people that wouldn't have access to do something like this anywhere else nearby.
Or if you're more of a paddleboarder, there's another option for you on the north side of town. This summer, the Forest Preserve District of DuPage County is piloting a paddleboard program at Silver Lake at the Blackwell Preserve.
As far as Silver Lake being one of our bigger lakes, 60 acres like I mentioned, we do have a lot of water sports already, and stand-up paddleboarding was kind of a natural fit to the area, as well as another recreational opportunity.
Right now, you'll need to bring your own paddleboard, but if the program takes off, they may add rentals, as they currently do with canoes, kayaks, and rowboats. Plenty of choices to get outdoors and on the water in Naperville. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Christine Lena.
You can go to Naperville Kayak's website to get pricing information for kayak and paddleboard rentals. The summer sun can be welcome after a long and rainy spring, but it's important to protect yourself from harmful UV rays. Our own Casey Krajewski shares some tips on sun safety.
There's no such thing as a safe tan. It's the unfortunate truth for everyone looking to get a little color this summer.
Anytime that you expose your skin to the sun, you're exposing your skin to those UV or ultraviolet rays, which are the components that will cause skin cancer and premature skin aging as well, like wrinkles.
If you're planning on spending time in the sun, Dr. Gadranab Jones recommends 3 ways to protect yourself. Try to avoid the high sun hours from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. when UV rays are strongest. Wear UV protective sunglasses, and of course, cover up all exposed skin with sunscreen. But with dozens of options to choose from, how do you know which brands provide the best protection?
You want to find a sunscreen that says on the bottle that it's broad spectrum, because the broad spectrum sunscreen is going to actually protect you from 2 types of UV rays, so UVA and UVB.
That broad spectrum designation is actually more important than SPF, the magic number for which is 30. That'll protect your skin from about 97% of UV rays. For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
Contrary to what many might think, clouds do not block UV rays, so even on cloudy or overcast days, it's important to wear sunscreen. Coming up, a cultural connection made through music.
Give the gift of downtown Naperville. Treat someone special to a great shopping, dining, or spa experience with Downtown Naperville gift cards. Good at more than 150 businesses. Purchase them at 4 convenient locations or online and have them mailed directly to the lucky recipients. Best of all, there's no purchasing fee. Just choose an amount and send. It's that easy. The perfect gift for anyone at any time.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
A passion for music has led a Naperville man to learn about another culture, finding out more about himself in the process. Listen closely as Naperville News 17's Christian Canizal shares his story.
The meditative tune you're hearing is coming from a Japanese flute called the shakuhachi. It's being played from inside of longtime Naperville resident Michael Furman's studio, where he practices and teaches how to play the instrument.
The shakuhachi actually came to Japan from China in the 8th century, with 4 holes in the front and 1 in the back, and the entire flute is made from bamboo.
I got interested in it because I heard it on a record many, many years ago, and it captivated me. The sound captivated me, and I followed up trying to find one, and then eventually found one, and then found a teacher.
Furman's passion for the flute grew from there. He eventually traveled to Japan to learn more about the culture of the flute's unofficial home.
One of the things that seems to be prevalent across the board in Japanese art forms anyway is the attention to detail. They're incredibly detailed-oriented people. I think it taught me to pay attention more than anything else, I think.
That attention to detail is needed to play the instrument because unlike traditional flutes, the shakuhachi doesn't have a fipple, which means you have to create the sound with head movements and lip placement.
So you have a lot of flexibility, and it gives it its own unique quality, and it's very expressive in that way.
He reads the sheet music up and down, and if a note is bigger, the tone is lower, and vice versa. Another distinct characteristic is the headgear people wear sometimes while playing, which allows listeners to focus more on the music and not the musician.
This is called a tengai, and it was worn by mendicant monks in the Edo period, and they roamed around the land playing the shakuhachi, wearing an outfit that included this tengai, and they wore it for anonymity.
Furman is able to see through the front slits, but it's difficult seeing him. He's mastered the art of playing the flute, becoming a certified shakuhachi teacher, and he's even joined an ensemble.
There's an eclectic world of music out there, and I think what the big takeaway should be is that there's all sorts of things to absorb, shakuhachi being one of them.
For Naperville News 17, I'm Christian Canizal.
Furman will have a solo performance and lecture about the shakuhachi in Chicago. You can learn more by visiting his Facebook page. A local business is using their facility to help shelter dogs get adopted, and it's making a splash. Naperville News 17's Casey Krajewski has more.
Meet Corona, a dog up for adoption at Adopt Pet Shelter. This is her third time visiting local indoor dog park and pool, Wagon Paddle, thanks to free lessons offered by the owners.
This is one small thing that we can do to give back to our community, and we are so happy that every week they come and they swim, and we have met so many lovely dogs and wonderful volunteers, and they are great organizations to work with.
Both Adopt and the Naperville Area Humane Society now send a dog each week for a private swim.
A lot of dogs, just in general, don't even get to go and swim on a regular basis. So it's really good for them to get out and experience those things. It helps with their well-being. It helps with their, physical activity. It's just a really great experience for them.
And while the doggy paddle comes naturally to plenty of pups, others need a bit of an adjustment period before they're comfortable.
It's good exercise. If they really hated it, we would take them out of it completely. It's just a new thing and getting them adjusted. A new experience. A lot of them just have no idea what a pool is. So.
Both the Humane Society and Adopt post videos of their dogs' swim lessons on social media. Showing off the dogs in action seems to be working, as pups from both organizations have found their forever homes after being featured at Wagon Paddle. Shaking up how these dogs get adopted. For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
And in another story tailor-made for the dog days of summer, our own Christine Lena shares some of the paw-fix spots around town to take your pets.
Summer has gone to the dogs in Naperville, but while the fake ones decorate the streets, the furry ones get to join you around town.
And Naperville is a community that's full of dog lovers, and obviously we are as well. So our owner wanted to make sure that we had this beautiful patio for humans and for their favorite dogs.
64 Wine Bar and Kitchen isn't the only patio for pets. Quigley's also has space for them to join their companions, and both eateries have puppy bowls to dive into. After grabbing a bite or drink, you can shop for your dogs at 2 Bostons or for yourself at any of the over 30 pet-friendly stores.
So it's a great way for us to just have more of what we love come into our store, which is happy families, active families. So this way they get to come in, they stroll the Riverwalk, they see our store, and they can all come in as a group and really have a full family experience.
Places your four-legged friends can exercise are Wagon Paddle, the almost 2 miles of Riverwalk paths, and of course the forest preserves and their dog parks. Outside of downtown, you can soon stop by Lazy Dog, a restaurant and bar on Route 59, with menu items for people and their pups. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Christine Lena.
You can check the Downtown Naperville website for a full list of where to shop and dine with your dog. Up next, find out how a local running group is brave like Gabe.
From practice to homework to home improvement to bills, your days are busy. That's why Busey offers innovative financial solutions like our mobile app. Deposit checks, transfer funds, and keep your financial life in order, no matter where you are. Whether you're saving for college, keeping the family in the family business, or planning your dream retirement, Busey's your trusted partner to make your personal, business, and wealth management dreams a reality. Busey, your dream, our promise.
Capturing the nation's attention and inspiring countless athletes, USA champion track star Gabe Grunwald's story continues to inspire runners, especially here in Naperville.
Gabe Grunwald was a professional runner, and she was actually, I think in her senior year of college at University of Minnesota, she was diagnosed with adenoid cystic carcinoma, which is like a super rare cancer. She's kind of like gained a following over like social media and other things like that through like basically just inspiring a ton of people through like her bravery in spite of like this terrible disease that she's going through.
Unfortunately, Grunwald passed away 2 weeks ago at the age of 32, but her life continues on in the form of memories as well as the hashtag #BraveLikeGabe. Lighting up social media, runners from across the country are paying homage to the U.S. track star. Taking action in real life, Naperville resident Alex Morris has taken the Brave Like Gabe moniker to heart.
Everyone like kind of has like a bad day, and it's easy to get caught up in that, but to see someone like that who's going through something like so challenging and difficult still continue to be positive throughout that is just so inspiring, kind of a reminder to like it kind of puts things in perspective, I guess, and also just like a reminder to continue to be brave and like throughout like races and cross-country training, like that's often like super difficult.
Taking inspiration, Morris started a running camp for kids.
It was pretty easy. I just kind of like put together like a little page, a little website, and then just mainly like the hardest part has been like trying to spread the word to more people, so we're still trying to hopefully get more campers.
The cost for each camper? A $35 donation to the Brave Like Gabe Foundation and the printed receipt as proof of purchase. Donating to charity is a big part of it, but sharing her love of running is also what motivates the former Naperville North State champion runner to give back.
I've always like thought about like starting like maybe like a kids running group or something like that, just because I love running and I kind of wanted to share that with other people too, and I thought it'd be really fun to do.
And that's exactly what Morris, as well as her former Husky teammates, do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday during the 7-week-long camp. And with 6 weeks still to go, many of the participants are looking forward to seeing results.
It was fun and hard because like I haven't ran that long distance before.
So I could be faster in basketball. We got kind of in better shape, I think, because we ran 2.5 miles.
I liked it very much. When you get to be around your friends, so it's more of you can also socialize with your friends and also make you more in shape so you can make whatever team you want.
With workouts consisting of warm-up exercises, running drills, and even some occasional yoga, the camp is off and running, quite literally. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Kevin Jackman.
And if you have an idea for a sports story feature, you can let us know at newstips@nctv17.com. And finally, the Naperville Park District recently hosted a patriotic performance. the Air National Guard Band of the Midwest came to Naperville to put on a free show for residents at Mosher Tower, giving a wonderful lead-in to the 4th of July weekend. The performance featured 20 songs, many celebrating America's armed forces and all those who've served. The band is composed of members of the Air National Guard, with Lieutenant Colonel Brian Miller serving as conductor, though he happily shared his podium with several kids in attendance. A beautiful tribute to the land we love. And that's what's happening right here in your neighborhood, Naperville. We'll see you next week. Until then, you can catch up on local news by signing up for our NCTV 17 News Update, delivered right to your inbox Monday through Friday. Sign-up information is right on our website, nctv17.com.
This week's Naperville News 17 is brought to you in part by the following sponsors. This program is partially funded by a grant from the City of Naperville.